am the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter, and I am here to review your resumes to get you ahead of the job market. So, the first resume we've got up is a machine learning full stack software engineer. I will be honest, I wasn't able to really find a ton of full stack software engineer machine learning specifically, so this is just the full stack. For machine learning, you definitely obviously want to add AI, you want to add ML, and there's probably only a couple of little keywords with that you need to add. Usually people add a ton more than they need, and I don't think you need to have a ton with that. But so these are what I'm going to be looking for is ML, AI, machine learning, and it's possible I may miss one or two machine learning keywords because there is a limit to how much I can look up beforehand. So this person actually has a solid ratio. This is 1 in 50 in a bad market, which at the time of this video, it is not a bad one. It's like a C, right? C minus, it passes barely, but it does pass. So 1 in 50, let's see if we can maybe take this to 1 in 30, 1 in 25, a little bit lower. But again, 1 in 50 is not the worst. So I'm expecting to see some good bullet points, see some skills I want, but maybe the formatting is awful or there's too much stuff. A lot of software engineers, weirdly enough, put too many keywords in. So let's look, and what we're going to be looking for in full stack is TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React.js, API REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and bonus points are architecture, extra language, and Git, and you need to add a little bit of AI, specifically machine learning, to that. And this is a US base because apparently in the UK they have a different thing that they're looking for, but this is the most common full stack software engineer job description. So this formatting is off. It's not the worst. It looks a little small. Ideally, I want everything besides your contact information to be 10.5 Arial. This looks a little crunched. So if people can't see it, this is what the recruiter sees, and that's not good. Again, though, it is still kind of easy to read, so it knocks some points off, but it's not like the worst ever. So this should be not bolded and fit on 2 lines max. I don't know if I really need to know that you have a minor in mathematics, but I guess you could have it with 3 lines, but this shouldn't be bolded. I'm not a fan of technical skills sections. I know people roast me in the comments, but I don't think they're needed, and except for very high-level managers. So I'm not a fan of this entire section right here. If you decide to keep it and go against my whatever I'm going to say, which I don't recommend, but people do it anyway, don't bold anything here. So this is, again, should be 10.5 Arial, and nothing here should be bolded. So the software engineer and can I read it? Naval systems should be 1 line. Other than that, let's look at the actual bullet points. Developed and designed, I read that backwards, an automated data automation pipeline to generate photorealistics from CAD models using Python and Blender. Developed a real-time object-oriented detection using YOLO and IGM models and TensorFlow. TensorFlow, again, I wasn't able to really find the machine learning keyword specifically for full stack, but I believe TensorFlow would be one of them. Led a team in designing and develop a full stack chain using React, Node.js, Express.js, and MS SQL. Led the Jira. Okay, so this is not bad. I think people are going to expect, oh, this is garbage. No, the way you wrote those bullet points is correct. I don't think you used the right keywords though, because again, if I'm looking for full stack, I would be looking for this. TensorFlow, I'm assuming, is going to be one of them, but I also want to see ML and AI. I want to see the words ML and AI, because again, doesn't count if they're here. I don't care if they're here. I need them here. But you did actually get what I believe would be the correct keywords here. You may not need as much Java or C++ or C# or Dart, but maybe, unless Dart's an AI thing, but you actually got what I would be looking for here. But again, it doesn't count unless it's here. So you just need to switch out a couple of these, but the way you wrote these bullet points is exactly how I want them to be written. Developed a full stack application using .NET and Angular. Okay, again, I have to like squint because it's a little small. RESTful APIs, Kubernetes, that's good. Kubernetes could very well be an AI one. This is big data stuff, I think. Python, Agile. I don't care about Confluence and Bitbucket. So yeah, your formatting is off, and I think just alone, if you fix the formatting, just alone, you'd have like a 1 in 40. But if you add the right keywords and switch out some of these, I think you're going to have a 1 in 20, 1 in 25, but I want to give you a lot of props for writing your sentences the way I would like. This right here, even if these are the wrong keywords, is how I want them to be written. This is how you write a very, very good what, how, why. You got the what wrong on like half of them, but it's still very, very goodly. It's written the way a recruiter and hiring manager would like. So just keep this way you did the sentence structure, change up some of the keywords, make it a little easier to read with the formatting, and I think you're going to get like a 1 in 30, 1 in 20, 1 in 25. So overall, not bad. Definitely a C resume. In fact, I would say arguably this is probably a C+, because you still have some of the keywords I want. You had about 50 of the list up here. I wanted about 75%. But yeah, overall, I think this is a C+ resume. We just want to take it to like a B+, hopefully an A+. So let's go to the next resume. This is an IT security internship resume. So there's no keywords here. The reason is I'm not knowledgeable enough about cybersecurity to know the difference between the various cybersecurity basically things, because this could have been not just an IT security, it could have been cybersecurity, it could have been a bunch of other stuff, and I didn't want to give them the wrong keywords. So I'm not sure what the keywords are for this, because IT security only found like one, and I don't want to say like, oh, it's also cybersecurity internship, and maybe IT security and cybersecurity internship are different. I don't know. So yeah, if you come on my channel, twitch.tv/headless headhunter, I can help you out directly. I just don't want to give you the wrong keywords, because that's very bad. And if anybody else needs help, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. PST, that is where I help live, and I do these things. So but this person has kind of a phenomenal ratio regardless. Like they gave me a lot. They said they applied to 10 companies and got 2 callbacks, and they went to a career fair and got a callback. So while that's not enough of a sample size, ideally I really want to see people apply to like 100, 200 jobs just so we can get a real sample size. If that ratio keeps going, that's fantastic. Like, you don't really need help. But again, I'm not really as knowledgeable in cyber, so I don't know that. They also said they're getting an OSCP cert, and I'm like, cool, don't know what that is. So I'm going to have to judge this probably more on formatting, and formatting, it could be a little bit better. So what I would like to see for people, and I'm going to pull this up in a second, is this. This is the ideal formatting you want for basically everything. Maybe not some high level managers, but you want to have Arial right here, 14 bolded at the top for first last name, Arial 12 for your contact info, and then everything else 10.5, and the only thing that should be bolded is education certs and work history. So education, I don't know. See, honor and dean's list is not bad. This should be fit into one line. I think you can fit this into one line. I don't know if you really need the full thing here. You might be able to just have cyber. You don't need the relevant coursework, but you should have the honors. And, you know, I've never actually had people put clubs up here, but considering specifically for an internship, I think that's actually good to have. So I think this should sort of be 3 lines max. You need to combine all of this here, including the honors. So this is going to be 1 line. You're not going to include the relevant coursework, and then you're going to have clubs and certificates. So those are what I want to see. Again, I'm not a huge fan of technical skills sections. They should be in the bullet points, but, you know, if this resume is truly getting you a 1 in 10 or 1 in 5, then ignore everything I say, because sometimes different industries and certain sections are different, and my advice is never going to be one size fits all. It's just one size fits most. So, computed in weekly security, developing practical skills in web application engineering and binary analysis, achieving top 5 ranking among 5. This is actually a very well written bullet point. Collaborated with senior team to analyze advanced bug. Yeah, I love this. Strength in security functions. Okay, cool. So again, I'm not sure what the keywords would be, but there's reasons why I really like this. So I'm going to focus on why these are great. So this is how I want people to write it, right? Computed in weekly security challenges, developing skills in blank, which is the what and the why, and then the how, the what and the how, and then the why you did it. Also, you got this, which was top 5, which is a very easy metric to understand. Then worked with senior members, which is huge in internships. They want to know that they're not going to say, hey, this person's resume, it's great, but you need to tweak your code, and then you just flip the table and run. So this shows that you can work well with others. It also shows what I'm going to guess are keywords. Again, I don't know what they are, and it shows how you did it. And then strengthens lectures and binary, because this allows you to listen. So this is kind of everything I would want in an internship. Bullet points right here, and this is fantastic, is it shows the what, how, why. So what you did overall, what it was. It shows it in easily understandable metrics. I'm assuming it has the keywords because you're getting interviews. And then it shows that you can work well with others and take criticism. So projects, again, this stuff, I don't like it up here. This should be down here. But, cyber, it's working for you. So just keep the keywords and bullet points here. So if you fix a little bit of those formatting errors, I think you will have possibly even more success. This is really fantastic what you've done here. I think a lot of companies would like it. We just need to fix it to make it a little easier to understand. But you also need a higher sample size than 10, because it could very well be that you apply to another 200 jobs using this resume and you only get like 1 back. Or alternatively, you could be fantastic. So I want you to tweak the formatting a little bit to what I said. I don't know the keywords, but this is fantastic. This is exactly how I want it to be written. So props to you. Very, very, very good job. And then shrink this a little bit and do all that. And I mean, honestly, I think you're going to get a job at the time this video airs. I don't know if this is going to really help you, because I'm assuming based on how you wrote just those 3 amazing bullet points can get you entirely an internship. So very good, along with the clubs and certs. I just think this part right here is unnecessary, and then so this could be shrunk to 3 lines. But fantastic resume. I don't want people to think, he hates it. No, this is kind of how I want it to be written. Basically, I really like it. So next resume. This is a resume of a mobile engineer. So these are not actually the keywords for a mobile engineer. These are the keywords for a iOS mobile engineer. So specifically when you're doing mobile engineer, I kind of need to know, are you doing Android? Are you doing iOS? Are you doing both? So I needed a little bit more information. So this is specifically iOS. If you want Android, it's going to be a little bit different. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to really talk too much about this resume. And the reason for this is this person lives outside of the United States, and they're trying to get a remote job or an offer relocation in the EU or the USA. And they get rejected from jobs even that do offer relocation or fully remote. When omitting the fact that they require sponsorship, they get past the initial resume screening most of the time. So here's why that happens. I'm going to there's a lot of confusion in the job market about what you can do immigration wise, what it happens. People are taking jobs, which is not really the case. Outsourcing is a bigger issue than people coming in. People coming in is good. Outside is not as good. So the thing is, in the United States, I don't know what the EU is. I'm assuming it's something relatively similar. You need a work authorization to work in the United States. You need that before you move here. While it is possible for companies to give you a work authorization to move here, it is very, very rare and very, very difficult to get. And we are talking we're you're I don't know, of 12 people in the world kind of thing. It's not quite that. Or alternatively, they have a company in another country and you want to move to this country, they may do it, but companies are not really going to sponsor that. So the reason you're getting past the initial one is, I'm assuming your resume is solid, but it doesn't matter, because if they hire you, there is going to be a thing called an I-9. And in that I-9, you have to basically prove that you are a citizen. It's both more and less complicated than that. It's basically just you give the documentation, and you will not get the job if you cannot do that. So the reason they are rejecting you is because they are not able to sponsor you. So to sponsor, you need the ability to work here in the first place for the vast majority of companies. And it's a nightmare of a process. People insult people that are on that process. They shouldn't. It's very, very difficult, and it's very, very unfair to even the person, because there's a lot of times that even if they do everything right, they may not even be able to stay, which really sucks and is wrong. And I don't like that fact. But you are not going to be able to really get here without that visa in the first place. Now, what you could do is work for a company in the United States, but then they're going to pay you for the salary of where you are, which is Tunisia, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. So you can work remote for the United States, but they are going to pay you in the currency and salary of your area. You are not going to really easily get a U.S. company salary unless you are maybe a contractor for your own company. So, and a lot of people submit to me, they say that. So you are not going to really be able to get a job in the U.S. and then have them move you there realistically. Could it happen? Yes, but winning the lottery is not a viable job search strategy or financial strategy. So what I would recommend you do is that maybe there is a C2C company in your area, which essentially allows contracting out to that. That is a way to do that. In addition, you may be able to apply for jobs that are remote, but you aren't going to be able to do that because a lot of remote jobs, you still need to be in the US. They're not remote from anywhere. Remote from anywhere is very rare because they have to pay you in the currency of your home. So that was a lot. Let me see if I can actually find anything about this resume. And I just wanted to let you know, because I actually get that a lot about like, how do I come here? How do I do that? And the thing is, you need to already have it approved before you come here, because and that's beyond me. So for specifically a mobile engineer, which is going to use this stuff. So iOS, Swift, Objective-C, Swift UI, REST API, REST React, mobile architectures, and then the full stack down here, Git, Agile, CI/CD, Cloud, MVVM, and MVC. Realistically, I think these are the most important, but I probably need to relook at this. So education, this needs to be one line. I don't need all of this. I don't know what NetInfo Unreal VR, I'm assuming that's for video games. And this, also the order of this is off. It should be the first. Coursera, Google Project Management, not usually needed as much for mobile engineer. As an Android engineer, okay, cool. So you're Android, so this is iOS, so none of these keywords are going to work anyway. Cross-functional teams, okay, I don't care about this. Assisted document approved to warehouse management, a mobile application, okay, I don't care. Java, okay, yeah, I mean, even if, you know, this was in the United States and everything, I don't think this would not really fly. This is not really good. I want to see how you write though. So the last two resumes have been very good at showing and not showing how you use the keywords. So I want you to look at the last two resumes in the video to show how they did that, because that is one. These keywords are specifically for iOS, so if you're primary Android, then you can ignore these. But yeah, proof of possible. Yeah, I don't care. So like, I do want a summary up here, but I don't want it to look like this. I just want to say, I am responsible for like architecting is good using X, Y, and Z in a cross-functional environment for X, Y, and Z. So I don't think this resume works, but the reason you're getting rejected and then not rejected when you don't put that, you shouldn't do that, because you're still going to get rejected. All you're doing by not stating your visa sponsorship is just delaying your rejection, because there is going to be a process called an I-9 and you will not pass it. And because that is what that is. And if they notice during the I-9, then they're just going to reject you, because they are not allowed to do that. So please, 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 which is also why companies do that beforehand. So please, please, you need to state if you need a visa. It's going to tank your options, but all you're doing is saving yourself time. Because if you work with a company and they do not don't require they cannot sponsor your visa, it doesn't matter how good you do and if you need a visa to work there. So you may want to look for C2C companies in your area. You may want to look for companies that have offices here, because maybe if you do well enough, you can get a transfer. That is something that could happen. But just applying to U.S. remote jobs, you still need to live in the United States. You still need to be a green card holder, a citizen, or have valid immigration visa, such as H-1B or something like that. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of an accountant. So this person is been on my channel a lot. This is their third, I think, resume they submitted. It is a good resume. I want to be clear, this is the part where I'm taking this resume from like a 1 in 20 to a 1 in 10, or essentially like an A to an A+, okay? So the critiques I'm saying now are not, this is a bad resume. This is, we are making it from like an A to an A+. So they already got most of the keywords. I think some of the ones I told them to add were Gap, QuickBooks, Excel, NetSuite, month-end close, CPA, and bachelor's, and probably some formatting issues. So this is going to be more on formatting, a little bit on those keywords. But again, the previous resume was good, and accounting is in a hot market. So, you know, they may not even need help regardless, but it's always good to just make sure your resume is solid. So we are going to be hypercritical of this. I want everybody to know this is not always going to be as critical as this on other resumes. So first off, formatting is slightly off. I think I still need the city and state should be like down here, but this is fine. Not a huge issue. I'm not sure if this is the right font. Maybe it is, but you don't want this little line right here. And this should not be bolded, okay? Nothing here should be bolded. So education and search should look like this, and then right here, which is degree and second degree or whatever else. But it should be in bullet points, and the only things that should be bolded on your resume are your first and last name, the title section of work history, education, certs, and projects. Not anything under them. So this should be one line and not bolded, and it might be 10.5. I think it is. But this is good. Good. Certified public accountant, Clown College, bachelor's. You can just put graduated too, but you do want to put like maybe status graduated. It's okay to not put the year, but you do want to make sure that they know you graduated. But this is solid. This alone right here, if any accountants are watching this and you're a CPA and you're struggling, first let me know because I might be able to place you. But second, this is great. Like the CPA with an accountant is like gold standard right now. So again, this should fit into 2 lines max. And it should be, so 1 line for Clown College and 1 line for CPA. You do want to say just status graduated. Active is fine for this. Again, you can put status active or active until for the CPA, but otherwise this is solid. Education should be at the top. Then experience, again, this should be 1 line. There should be no underline on this thing, but this should be 1 line and not bolded. This is fine. Drove the month and year-end closing process and RILIT, ERP, perfection. For the parent company and 4 subsidiaries, eliminating intercompany transactions balances through regular reconciliation and presenting consolidated GAAP-compliant financial statements to management that inform strategic leadership decisions. I love it. Analyze lease agreements for payment schedules, renewal operations to calculate lease right of use, values of payment using Excel functions. So, this is good. I like this. You want, because this is a sort of long bullet point, which I think is fine. I think this is a good bullet point. We want to sort of tweak this. I think what you want to say is instead of, I think you want to flip this a little bit around, which said used Excel functions, and then you could put in brackets like pivot table XY to analyze lease agreements for payment schedules, renew or to calculate, blah, 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 and then have the rest of it. So again, minor thing. Realistically, because of how hot of a market accounting is, they will probably find it. But if you could just put this as the second word here, say used Excel too, and then everything else should be the same, it may give you a little bit of a heads up, especially if you could put like pivot tables and whatever in a bracket. But partner with already product editor project using object and allocate cards to build time and financial reporting. Good. Led to an auditor, something audit. Yep, audit can be one. Uploads to PwC Connect, project workflow tool. Yeah, good. So directed month and close in NetSuite. Perfect. Yeah, so this is now nearly perfect. We want to fix a little bit of the formatting issues, which again aren't too terrible. And I think Excel should maybe, if you can, I don't want you to wreck the sentence, if you can, have this be the second or third word. But other than that, I think that is solid. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. This is good. And again, accounting is a good market. You could have a bad resume and still get it. This should get an interview like fantastically. So, fantastic. Love it. Love it. Let's go to the next resume. I mean, there's been a lot of really good ones on this this video. This is a second review of a ServiceNow developer. It is okay for people to put in second reviews. I am okay reviewing a resume. I think it more than once. It is an iterative process. The only thing I take umbrage to, is that the right word, is if you submit like 5 at the same time. So I will be fine reviewing multiple of your resumes, just break them off a week apart between them. That's the only thing that I ask of you. So this is ServiceNow developer. What they're going to need is a BA, high school, or GAED, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, XML, SQL, REST, SOAP, APIs, ITIL, ServiceNow developer, CSA. Extra credit would be ETL, GRC, IRM, and Agile and Scrum. So, my big issue here is typically I prefer this to be 3 lines, but I'm not well enough versed in the ServiceNow development industry to know if maybe these would be more. Here, you don't necessarily need to say when you graduated, you just need to say like status graduated. So I'm not sure. Also, I can't scroll further up because this person put their full contact information, which I don't want to dox them. So here's the part. This is from Tokyo. I don't know if all of these are needed. If they are, then never mind. But I want to maybe shrink it, but at least it's clear. So systems certified system administrator, CTS. That's actually really good. So optimize incident life cycles and automation request workflows, improving tasks, reducing SLA abbreviations, and timely resolutions. Well, here's the thing. I don't have anything here. Ideally, I'd like one of these here, but administrated user access control, ensuring role and permission accuracy across ServiceNow. Development, maintain detail and leveraging now developer docs. Okay, so here's my issue with this is there's no. Oh, this is why. Okay, so first off, your work history. Look, this person, this was not their current job. You need it reverse chronological. The job you worked closest to should be up top. So these need to be. Oh, but okay, I see what you did here. Yeah, this is kind of weird. So the big issue I have with this is this doesn't really have any of the keywords I'm looking for. So normally I would put this above the projects, but I don't see any of this stuff here. The ServiceNow developer is good, but I don't even, because it only says ServiceNow environment, which is a benefit, but it's also here and they may miss it. So what you kind of need is, if you don't have any of these keywords in here, just here say as a ServiceNow developer, or it did X in ServiceNow environments, I did X, Y, and Z. But this is a problem because it only has ServiceNow and I need more keywords. Tailored CSDM, is that a keyword we're looking for? No. Classes in CMDB. Again, that's not really what I'm looking for. Managing class area of compliance procedure portfolio. For SPM, oh man, there's a lot of acronyms for this. GRC, IPO, catalog builder. Yeah, I don't see the stuff I'm looking for. Like, I don't see ITIL. I don't see SQL. I don't see REST, SOAP, API. I did see JavaScript, but I didn't see HTML, CSS, and XML. I don't see CSA. Yeah, look, your formatting is now better, but I still need the bullet points. I would rather have a bad formatting than bad bullet points. And the problem with this is I don't see anything up here that I'm looking for besides ServiceNow, but it's kind of nested down here. So, yeah, that's my biggest issue. Oh my gosh, here you are. Nobody can even see this because it's all the way close to at the bottom right here. Proficient in JavaScript, preferable. Okay, but you can't just say proficient. You have to show me how you use them. How did you use JavaScript in ServiceNow? So not only should this be up top, you need to tell me how. So the bullet points are still bad. The formatting is good. The education and sorts is fine. The formatting is bad. I need to wait. Why here? Configured REST. Why is this at the bottom? Here it is. I don't even know. The most important part of your resume is the top half of your resume. People ask me all the time, Lee, how many pages should my resume be? Should it be 1 page, 2 page, 3 page? Doesn't matter. You can have a 5-page resume. You can have a 1-page resume. What matters most is it's in the first half of your resume. Realistically, a lot of people may never get past the first half of your resume. That's why it needs to be up top. That's why education needs to be up top, because it is a qualification. And if it's all the way at the bottom, they may not even see it. So here are some of the keywords that I'd want, but I need you to show me how you use them. Like this, configured REST and SOAP websites to integrate using data between HTTP. This is fine. I like this. Yeah, there's a lot of words there, but this is how I want it written. So this resume does not pass but its formatting is okay. It's just the bullet points need to be better. The only thing I found is REST SOAP and ServiceNow, which again is better than nothing, but I need those keywords. I need them. They are the key to getting a job. So if this was helpful to everybody, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. Or check out my, Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Link in the description below. That is where I do all this stuff live and answer any job questions you may have. But that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one, because my goal is to get you ahead of your job search.